Have you had a cough recently, or a chest infection, or a cold that came with a cough? As you might be able to tell from my voice, recently I had a pretty bad cough for about a week. And as I was dealing with my own muscular stuff as a result of coughing all the time, and as I heard so many of my clients talking about how they've had this cough that's been going around, I thought I should make a video about how you can take care of your muscles after you've had a cough, after you've been sick with a cough for a while. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how a cough or a chronic cough affects your muscles, how massage can help, and a little bit about something we're offering at the moment. And at the end, I'm going to share a couple of really easy self-care tips that you can use to help you undo the negative effects of a cough. If this is your first time on our channel, my name is Catherine. I'm the founder and principal therapist of LSM Clinic. In this channel, I share information about how the body works and simple self-care tips so you can enjoy your favorite activities and live your life as close to pain-free as possible. So one of the reasons that I wanted to talk about how coughing affects our muscles, or what happens to our muscles when we've had a cough, is because there's loads of things that we do in our day-to-day life that has an effect on our body, right? Driving, public transport, walking around, taking care of kids, that has an effect on our body. And I want to start talking about those things. And because I really felt the impact of the cough, I was doing so much massage on my intercostals, which is the muscles between the ribs and my lower back, because those were the places I was feeling it. And the thing is, after a cough, you actually will end up feeling really stiff. And there are things that you can do that will help that, right? Release that. So, of course, I thought I'd make a video to talk about it. So let's first talk about what happens when we're coughing. Why do our muscles get tight, and which muscles are we talking about? So when you cough, your body is basically trying to squeeze your lungs fast to create a push usually it's to get rid of the stuff in your lungs, right? Like if you're having a productive cough, or it can also be that you've got a tickle in your throat. But for whatever reason, something stimulates your body to say it wants to squeeze the lungs quickly. Now, the lungs are not muscles themselves. So they rely on the force from the body to create a contraction around them and to push them. So the things that we use, so first of all, when we inhale, right? So we usually have a kind of inhale to bring the air in, and then a fast exhale to push the air out. The muscles that you're using are often your respiratory accessory muscles. So one of the muscles is the scalenes. So the scalenes attach to the sides of the neck and the top of the ribs. When you do a big inhale, the muscles in your neck will work to lift your ribs up. Now, most people who have an office job, who have stress, will be breathing with these already when this shouldn't be the primary breathing muscles. So they're often tight as it is. And so then when you add coughing in, it lifts the rib cage up and really compresses the neck. And so you can start to get neck pain from a cough because of that. The other thing that happens is, obviously we have the diaphragm to draw things back in, but our diaphragm relaxes on the exhale. So it can't really push, the diaphragm won't push air out. So it might be involved when you inhale, but then when you exhale, you're using your abdominal muscles quite a bit. So especially your obliques, which are muscles that attach into the sides of the ribs, and your rectus abdominis, sometimes the lower abdominal muscles, but only if you're already connecting to them, because a lot of people don't connect to the lower abs. When you inhale, another muscle that helps with the inhale is the quadratus lumborum, which is a muscle in the lower back from the top, the bottom of the ribs, the last rib, to the top of the pelvis. And so what will happen, or what seems to happen, is, if you're really pushing the air out, there's one more muscle I need to explain. The last muscle I want to talk about is the intercostals. So if you imagine each of your ribs is like this, up and down, right? So there's two layers of these intercostal muscles. One's internal and one's external. So one's kind of closer into the middle of the body, one's external. but they connect between the two ribs. Their jobs, one of the intercostals opens the rib cage to allow air in, and the other closes the rib cage, contracts it to push air out. So basically, when you cough, you usually get a sharp intake of air. So you'll be using your diaphragm, your scalenes, your lower back, sometimes the intercostal muscles. And then you have to push all the air out at speed, right? Really fast. So then your abdominals contract and your intercostals contract and your, what else happens? And so it's basically your abdominals and your intercostals. And sometimes you'll get, I think, your chest involved, but not really so much. And so you can imagine that if when you're coughing, all of those muscles are contracting, then they're tight. And then you try to take a deep breath in, but because those muscles are tight, it's hard for your body to expand your rib cage to get more air in. So then the inhale muscles have to work even harder. And then it's kind of like this spiral, right? So you're coughing harder and harder. The muscles are contracting more and more to get the air or whatever out. And then when you're inhaling, all of your inhaling muscles are hitting the tension in the muscles that have been pushing the air out in the cough. So it's really, really common to get lower back pain after a cough, to get pain in the ribs and the sides of the body, to get pain in the neck, and sometimes tension headaches. And sometimes in the abdominals. Not very often do we see that. We usually see more like of a knock-on effect to the other things. So how can massage help you if you've had a chronic cough? So quite simply, we just go in and release all the stuff that's making it harder for you to inhale, right? So we'll release the intercostals. So you have the space between your ribs. Side note, if your intercostals are tight, rotating in your torso is very difficult because when you rotate in your torso like this, your ribs actually need to move up and down and they kind of squeeze into each other a little bit. But if all the intercostals are really hard, then when you're trying to rotate, the intercostals can't really move. And then you'll often get pain along the spine or tension along the spine and into the lower back, because if your intercostals are freezing your ribs, then when you're rotating, other muscles have to work hard to get that rotation, right? And so then you might find like your lats get tight or your erector spinae, which are the muscles on the other side of the ribs. So in a massage session, we would, first of all, like get a little bit of history, find out what's aching in you, like what you felt since you had the cough. We'll look at your posture and see what's out of alignment, right? Like you might have a really forward head position, which would indicate your scalenes are really tight. We'd look at the angle from your midline to the bottom of your ribs to see if they're being pulled in or pulled out to identify which of the obliques are tighter and what we need to release there. And then we'll basically release the muscles that are tight so that you're able to inhale more easily and exhale more easily, which should take a load of pressure off your lower back, your neck, your rib cage, your shoulders, etc. Now, if you would like to come and see us, what we're going to do is for the next few weeks, and the details will be in the description, we're offering, you can have like a post-cough massage session with one of our therapists, and we'll also give you 2 of our visualizations. Because out of the 2 self-care exercises that I'm going to give you, the 2 main ones, one of them is a breathing visualization to help you relax your breathing muscles on your own. So you can come for a session with us. We can release the muscles that are tight from you having had a cough and a cold. Also, side note, when you've had a cough or a cold, you've often been in like a rounded forward, hunched over position, right? Because when we're sick, we really go into that protective posture. So in this post-cough cold massage session, we can also look at what muscles might be pulling you out of alignment and pulling you into less than ideal posture. And so, so when you have the post-cough cold massage session, I'm going to try and come up with a better name for it. We'll give you 2 of our visualizations for free. So you can use them as part of your aftercare after seeing us. So if you're interested in that, the description is below. But now I want to tell you about the self-care exercises you can do in case it's a little while before you can come to see us, or you're not in London, so you can't come to see us in person, or whatever reason you just want to have the self-care exercises, right? So the two self-care exercises I'm going to talk about, one is side stretches, and there's a specific way to do it so that you can release the intercostals a little bit more easily. And two is a breathing exercise that's going to help you take some of the pressure off your breathing muscles. Before I get into those, it would be really great if you're enjoying this video to please like it. And if you can subscribe to our channel and click the notifications bell so that you can be notified as we release more videos. And if you know anyone who's had a cough, it would be awesome if you would share this with them so that they could take advantage of some of these tips as well. So the two self-care exercises, breathing exercise and side stretch. Now, side stretch is super versatile. You'll see me recommend it a lot for various different things. It's one of the core exercises that we have in my neck and shoulder pain course for desk workers, which I'll also put the link below. But basically what you want to do, you can either be sitting or lying on your side, and you start with your arm by your side and slowly raise your arm up until you feel a gentle stretch through here. And if you're sitting, you then just want to tilt through the upper part of the body. So we're not trying to curve in the lower back. We're trying to curve here. If you're lying down, obviously you can't do that because you're lying on the floor. But either way, once you're in this position, what I want you to do is imagine that you're breathing into your ribs. And each time you inhale, I want you to imagine you can see your ribs stretching open. So you can almost see that you're stretching the muscle between the ribs, the intercostals. And when you exhale, imagine you feel everything between the ribs relaxing, right? Because you can actually mentally direct your breathing to one area of the body. I don't totally understand how that works, but I do it with clients all the time. So like if I'm working on the intercostals in the back, in the upper back, I'll say, just breathe into here. And I actually feel them stretching that specific part of the body more than if I just tell them to breathe generally, and we can switch and they can breathe somewhere else and we can feel it. So I don't understand how it works, but you definitely can breathe into a specific part of your body. So in the side stretch, if you do nice, slow, deep breaths, breathing into the side of the ribs and imagining that they're expanding, and you can do it on both sides. You can do it in the back, like you can go into child's pose and imagine you're breathing into the back of the ribs. That will really, really help release the intercostals. And the nice thing about the side stretch is you're also going to be stretching the side of the pecs and the lats. And those are both muscles that pull you out of alignment for posture, right? So that's one, a really nice relaxing side stretch. Really important. Make sure your shoulders on your back and down. So we don't want your shoulders to kind of be out here. If at any point you feel any pain, stop doing it until you can see someone. Everything I tell you should be pain-free. Like you should never be in a lot of discomfort when you're doing any of the self-care exercises that I give you. And if you have any medical conditions with any stretch or exercise, just check with somebody before you do it, unless you've done it before. Now, the second thing that you can do is just a breathing practice where you're focusing on breathing down into your abdominals. Now, I do have a guided visualization for that. It's pay what you want, or we're giving it away free if you book a session with us for the post-cough cold massage. But basically, what you want to do when you're inhaling is you want to imagine that you're feeling your diaphragm contract down into your abdomen, and don't let your chest move, right? Because we don't want to overuse these muscles. These muscles tend to get overused when we're breathing. And then as you exhale, really try to relax everything. Now, when you exhale, if you notice that you have to push to exhale, that's usually a sign that your diaphragm needs to be released. And that's very difficult to do on your own. So it's something that we help people with. But try as much as you can to just allow the air to go out of your body when you exhale. So you're not pushing it out, right? Because if you're pushing it out, that's basically like a mini cough. You're using your abdominals, you're tightening things up, and we want to avoid that. And you can do that before you fall asleep at night. as part of your bedtime routine. It's very relaxing. It also helps to de-stress. And it's just really good for relaxing all your muscles. Ideally, doing it lying down is best because then you can relax your head onto the pillow, you can relax your shoulders back, etc. Okay, I think my voice is starting to go because it's still not fully back from when I had my cough last week. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Again, please like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe and share with anybody who's had a cough so that they can help decrease some of their body aches and pains. And if you're interested in the session, I've put the link below to get that as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.